Hello everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, coming at you late, unfortunately, once again. So we are going to continue with the format we did last week in the hopes that this coming week we'll be able to catch up. I believe it's not too much of a heavy reading week.
No, not
Have
really.
to wait and find out from what we had this past Wednesday. However, there were a lot of really great books this week. I had a lot of really great books this week. I actually enjoyed almost every single book I read. Minus one. So we'll talk about that. So no real pre-show this week. I do want to mention one thing really quick from my channel. As this video is going up on Sunday night or really late Sunday night, I'm not sure yet, depending on what I'm doing during Sunday, there are going to be a couple of haul videos going up on my personal channel. One is going to be a haul from a store right around here. Unfortunately, I wanted to do a toy hunt, or a video just shop, vlog. Didn't realize I was going to find what I found until I found it. By now it should be either edited together or up or both. So hopefully it'll be up tomorrow. I have one delivery, one unboxing I'll be doing in the middle of the week. Another one, I'm trying to think, and I'm looking at my schedule. I have a schedule written there. I have another unboxing at the end of the week, and then I should have two more next week, depending. And that's because I'm taking one order and separating it, because it's coming separate in two separate orders. So I'm just going to do two separate unboxings, so I don't have to wait too long to do one part or the other. And I think everybody will like it. I'm looking forward to doing that. So that's it for me. I'm just working on a lot of different stuff right now. There's going to be a spotlight video coming soon for the channel as well, for my other channel as well. What spotlights are going to be, really quick, are going to be basically me showing off whatever. It could be a figure, it could be a statue, it could be a Funko, it could be anything. It's literally just putting the spotlight on whatever it is, even a book or comic, for X amount of time. 99.9% of the time it'll be a thing, but I don't want to rule out comics in case I get a trade and I want to just make some spotlight on it. But I think a spotlight for a comic would fit more on this channel, or it would fit on Frontline. So I would probably put it up on Frontline, archive it here, and then that's where it would be. But that's what my new spotlight series is going to be about. So look forward to it all over. With that, let's get into this week's review. Let's get through these books. Let's get into next week's books. Michael.
Yes.
When, how many, and then...
And why?
And why?
I don't know, because who, what, when, where, why.
Episodes.
I just keep...
14 more episodes, that's why.
Yeah. Alright, but yes. So there are... Alright, so they were released on March 6, 2019, the first week of March, and there are 14 books that we have right here. Starting with the Independence, with your book.
Paper Girls 26. The girls are all over the time stream. They've been separated now, and because of that, it's basically winning the faction that's against the Time Lords, war against them. There's like this big peace that's happened because of that. They're all in different times. One, like I said, is at the end of time, where the clones of Aaron are living in peace. One has KJ all the way back in time. One has another in present day, and then Mac is in a time where the world is about to die. It's just crazy where they all are, and each one of them is now dealing with their own issue. I think from what Jay said, there's only about 3 issues left. That's going to be very interesting to see how this all wraps up so quick, with so much still left to tell. Unless they're going to hit us with a Paper Girls Volume 2 or something, which is a possibility. But love it. Definitely should check it out.
Red Sonja number 2. This was my least favorite read on the bottom pile. It really was nothing of a continuation other than her just going into war, and then there's like all this other pish-posh stuff that was in there. I mean, there was a little bit of heavy dialogue here and there, like not too much of it, but I felt it to be all over the place, kind of. Like, it does talk about her going into war, but it's just not, I don't know, for some reason it just didn't interest me in some way. But maybe the next issue will, hopefully, and we'll see what happens then.
Unnatural, issue number 8, the ending of the second of 3 arcs. Leslie is cornered and has to make a choice, and she ends up bonding with the wolf demon inside of her, basically. But she basically calls the shots. It's crazy. All the things that happen throughout, the twist at the end, which I had a feeling that was coming, but I didn't want to believe it. But I truly am loving Unnatural. I can't wait. I believe the second arc is the third arc is just going to go. We're going straight in unless they're going to take a month or two off. I'm not sure, but definitely Unnatural is something I would definitely recommend checking out. I will be buying every single one of these in trade later.
The Walking Dead issue number 189. Lots of stuff actually happened in this issue. Like, oh yeah, it talks about where it focuses more on Mercer's side of the story, where he's trying to, like, he gets out of the prison thanks to two people that actually helped him. And Rick actually finds out about this, and the whole thing about him being a leadership and everything is kind of gotten to him in a way of whether he wants to be leader or really not because of everything that's going on with the Commonwealth. And lots of other stuff that was in the end, which all of you probably, if you've read it, you'll probably know by now. But a really great book, though, nonetheless. This one was actually really interesting. Van Helsing, issue number 5, or Swords of Heaven, I should say. Sword of Heaven? Yeah, Sword of Heaven, issue number 5. If you want to experience what hell is actually like for her point of view, this book, like
what's next?
Oh yeah, this shows her just going through hell, seriously, in the most gruesome way possible. But it was a really, I don't want to say it's awesome because she went through hell. I mean, she really did literally go through hell, demons and all that stuff. But the whole artwork and everything was really amazing. And saving that girl, I can't remember what her name was, the one that's working alongside of her. The next issue, though, is going to look good because now they think that she's dead. But I don't know. We're going to see for the next issue. And last, too. Conan the Barbarian, issue number 4.
Now in Marvel.
Yes. In short senses, it should have been Conan and the Lion. Because Conan goes in the middle of the Mid-East or something and meets up with this lion who helps him out with fighting and everything. Basically, another sidekick-like thing. And in the end, he just lets the lion go out into the wild because that's where they belong. You know, because that's the life cycle of lions and stuff like that. Not going into Lion King's Circle of Life before you say anything. It was a really heartfelt book, nonetheless, and it was really actually very good, though. And there's a new Conan that came out this week that I'm looking forward to sharing. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 16, Hunted. Before
16.HU.
Right, 16 of that. And just to sum it up, it just talks about Black Cat's story of being with Spider-Man, knowing that he was Peter Parker, and the funny thing was when she thought that Peter Parker was gonna propose to her, he actually gave her that spider tracer, and he's like saying, just leave me alone. I thought that was actually really funny, which actually comes into use because she actually finds Billy, who got kidnapped, Connor's son, actually, Billy. And when she gets captured, she throws out the spy tracer. Spider-Man gets it, and he's like saying, "Yep, that's a signal to go and save her because the tracer shows the coordinates of where she is."
I just want to remember one thing real quick.
Yeah, but her side of the story was like really just. There was like a good side and then a bad side, but you know, Black Cat, she has like all the goods and bads and stuff like that. So definitely something to read before you get to the Hunted story.
Uncanny X-Men issue number 13. I am loving the rebirth. That's what you gotta call it for X-Men right now. Scott's bringing the team back together and making a list of people that, you know, the X-Men haven't fully dealt with, I guess you could say. I love how everybody's basically telling Scott if he goes the way he went before again, they're gonna put him down. So Scott is basically forced to stay in line now, but at the same time, I don't think he'll go that way again. I still say that it has something to do with Emma Frost, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, they go and they try to find Dark Beast because he doesn't believe the X-Men are truly gone. He wants to go find them. He gets Dark Beast instead.
Wait a minute, is Emma Frost on a good side or a bad side?
At the moment, we don't know. So he's got Dark Beast. The fight was awesome. I love the character building for all the characters. I love that Scott and Logan are back together. Artwork had a few moments of a hiccup, but other than that, I'm just loving Uncanny X-Men right now, and I'm biting my tongue because it's only one X-Men book I like right now, and I'm hoping that we don't get 12 different X-Men books, especially after the X-Men come back from this mini event that's going on with them. I'm truly hoping we don't get an oversaturation of X-Men and all things go all crazy different ways. One X-Men team is good enough. When they separated Wolverine and Cyclops, that's where things went crazy. Now that the X-Men are rejoined, Wolverine and Cyclops, rejoin them, be happy, have X-Force, have X whatever, have freaking Alpha Flight. Do not go off and do all these different X-Men teams again, which they are. I'm sure they are. Positive they are. So we're going into DC, and we're starting with DC Vertigo, The Dreaming. I could not get into this book in the worst way. And
I thought you liked this book.
No, because of the art. The artwork took me out of this book like you wouldn't believe. For some reason, I just could not. And in this book, of all things, it turns out, what's his name was alive. What's his name? It says right there. No, Up.
Well, Up, I didn't know if you meant Up as in...
I need to see if his name is brought up.
Ivy?
No. So we get a background on this new girl who's going to be part of this
Rose,
next story
is
arc.
it?
No, that's the girl. That's the girl that's talking in the book.
I don't know.
But basically, what's his name
Ew.
survived the encounter in the last arc, and it was. The artwork threw me off the book. It really did, and I think that's what hurt this book a lot. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But it's a nice second arc. Hopefully the artwork will change after this arc, because I'm sure that this is the art we're going to be getting for The Dreaming for now. But it's nice to know what's his name is alive, and it's nice to also see a possible Sandman return, or we find out what happened to Sandman. But it's so hard with this artwork. It just doesn't fit The Dreaming. Now we're into DC Wonder Comics. Young Justice issue number 3. Superboy. Where's he been? We find out in this book. I loved it. Every moment of it. The only downside was, and Jay's pointed this out on Frontline, the fact that Connor just gets up in the middle of class, takes his glasses off, and flies off and says, I'm done.
Really?
And the regression. The regression of where Connor was in the New 52 in the Teen Titans, regressing back to the way he was when he first started, when he first appeared in comics. He literally went from growing up and being an adult to regressing back to his mentality when he was first created, then becoming a possible father in Gem World. He's been trapped there. This is the Connor from pre-New 52. Apparently whatever happened right before Flashpoint. So Connor was in his black shirt and jeans at the beginning of the book. So it happened literally maybe a day before the universe changed. So that's why whatever Superboy we got in the New 52 is gone, dead, never going to see him again. And this is not a rehash of him either. We are literally getting our pre-New 52 Connor back. The question is how, and who's this woman, and what about him and Cassie? There's a lot of questions. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be getting any answers anytime soon, as Ginny Hex is going to be the origin a couple of months from now.
You mean Jonah Hex?
No, Ginny, his great-granddaughter.
Oh.
So we're getting origins all the way through until at least May. I think that's what this list, April, May so far. So we're still not getting any major story progression just yet.
The final issue of Green Arrow, issue number 50, until the brand new story arc comes out.
Which will probably be in the fall.
Probably, yeah. And just to sum all this up, it talks about like all the issues of, well, first of all, in this issue, Black Canary actually betrays him in this issue because somebody that was going after him, she was actually working for that person. And
Wow.
Green Arrow didn't know that heartfelt truth until the middle to the end of the book. And just like that whole thing, I just want to show you this at the end. The one thing that actually, because of the case that he had.
Yeah, they're going to put him in. It's going to be part of the villains here.
Yeah, like it was taken after that whole sanction thing, but the box was empty. But then here's another thing that was actually interesting. With nothing in it, in the end though, we see a light coming out of it. So, like you said, it could relate to the whole villains thing. I don't know, but something's got to tell me what was up with that when it comes out.
Adventures of the Super Sons issue number 8. They escaped the prison. They escaped the Injustice Gang, but we get to see even more. We get to see the full army that Rex Luthor is creating. It's insane. I'm looking forward to seeing all this as it develops. I'm not quite sure I trust Kid Lantern, but I feel like, again, we get more background on him than we did about Teen Lantern and Young Justice. But Young Justice,
was Kid Lantern adorable?
No. So I've been enjoying Super Sons. I really hope that somehow we get John aged down after this whole Bendis arc, and we get to continue Super Sons in a Volume 3, but that's yet to be determined. My lowest book of the week, though, goes to Batman 66. Still stuck in the dream world. Still feels like a Naruto filler arc, so to speak, because every issue is a new nightmare. This one, Catwoman's the star. And him knowing that she left for more than just because the letter she left him. That she lied in the letter and there was something more to it. Yeah, it was all a dream, so none of this, whatever I tell you happened in the book doesn't matter. Because it just doesn't. God, I am so glad. Only 2 more issues, I think Jay said.
Nope,
and then
3 more, because 10.
No. 2 more issues of the filler in the Nightmare World, and then he's going to break free of it, is what they say. But this is basically a writer's way of stretching out the story, because his arc is supposed to be 100 issues long. We're in the 60s, so he basically took a good 6 or 7 issues and just plotted out like filler dreamscape story. I don't know whether to give kudos to Tom King or to say lazy. No, I wouldn't say lazy. I don't know if I should give kudos or just complain that we're getting filler right now. A lot of it. But this was better than the last issue, I will say that. Finally, Doomsday Clock issue number 9 of 12. As we slowly reach the ending. I would like to just point out that Doomsday Clock will end way after the Dark Avenger comic book review ends, to the point where I think I'm going to keep all the issues left. I think there'll be 2 issues left for Doomsday Clock, or 1, and I might actually do a special covering the ending of Doomsday Clock, just because I feel like, and I'm not going to go another 100 for it, because you never know what'll happen another 100 reviews from now, but I feel like I'm leaving this major DC event wide open, and I'm ending the review wide open, unless we discuss it somehow on Frontline or maybe some other means. Stay tuned after 500 to find out what I mean. But this issue, the DC Universe confronts Dr. Manhattan. I love the little twist with the Professor when it comes to Firestorm and Ronnie. Superman's out for the count right now because of what happened with Firestorm. Lex Luthor comes in with a proposition for Superman. We don't know what's going on, but I think somebody else is pulling the strings here with Dr. Manhattan, and Dr. Manhattan's the innocent casualty, or he's being like the pawn of something even grander. And like I said, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 6 more months until we get the grand answer, but I feel like in the next issue or 2, which is 2 months or 4, we're going to get more answers. I'm looking forward to seeing what those answers are. Doomsday Clock has been very interesting. It's just, I really hate that it's every other month. I really do. With that, that's it for this review, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. As always, this is now your turn. Let us know what you thought about the comics that came out this week. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations, as we gear up for the 500th review. 4 more until we have the 10-episode countdown, which I'm super excited. I hope you are excited. There is a few things that will be mentioned after 500, or actually maybe during 500. I think 500 will actually be a live comic review. So keep your calendars ready, because once we get close enough to know a date, we will have a date for episode 500 of the
Well, there will be
review.
countdown after 10, 9, 8 and all that.
Yeah, but I mean a date for the actual live show for the review.
Well, yeah, stay tuned for that, because I come up with some funny stuff or whatever I find.
So thank you all for being here. As always, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. Check out my new channel. A lot of stuff is going to be going up soon. It's just been a very hectic, crazy lifestyle going on right now over here. But I am getting stuff up, and I'm trying to get a good flow going. So till then, see you all next time. Follow us on all of our social media. Later, everybody.
Later, everyone.